Good morning everyone and welcome back. This session is for class 7, subject Social Science, chapter number 7 of Geography, and the name of the chapter is Human Environment, in which settlement, transport and communication are discussed. This is going to be our lecture number 2. As in lecture number 1, we already discussed about settlement and the different types of settlement. And in today's lecture, we are going to cover transport and communication. So let's start the lecture. We'll see the topics to be discussed in today's lecture. Transport, its meaning, types of transport, in which we will be covering roadways, railways, waterways, airways, and then next we'll take communication. So these are the topics we'll cover, and at last we'll take homework that will be on the basis of topics covered. So let's start the topics one by one. The first is transport. What is this transport? Transport is the means by which people and goods move from one place to another, or you can say the means that by which people move and the goods can be carried from one place to another. This is transport. Now, how this transport developed? As we know that if we talk about the early human beings, they were not having any of the means of transport with them. They were just walking on their feet, and they were carrying the material on their backs or on the backs of animals only. In starting, if we talk about today's world, we have the means of transport with us. They are really helpful to us to go from one place to another, very easier, and even easily we can move from one place to another comfortably. Clear? So, how this development done? Development in transport. Firstly, in the early days, people used animals for transportation. As I told you, they were carrying the loads on the backs of animals because they were not having the wheels or any of the means of transport with them. But when the wheel was invented, and it took the very long period of time to travel on long distances on their foot, but when the wheel was invented, that made really the transport easier. So invention of wheel made transport easier for the people. With the passage of time, transport developed, and now people can travel long distances in short time. As we know that we can adopt any means of transport, whether it is roadways, railways, even airways, that is the fastest means of transport, in which within a few hours we can move any part of the world. So that due to the inventions of all these things, definitely that they save our time, because in very short time we can cover the long distances there. So there we can write this is the development done in transport. Now and nowadays, so we know that the GPS system is there, so we can have the details of all the means of transport even with us, okay, by connecting GPS in different means of transport. So these developments day by day they are coming there in the society. Now the different types of the transport, or you can say 4 major means of transport are roadways, railways, waterways and airways, as I told you in starting. So we'll discuss all these 4 one by one. Number 1, it is roadways. Roadways, you know very well what is this road, okay. So roadways, the means of transport moving on the road. Now, the most commonly used means of transport for short distances are roadways. We know that when we are going for the short distances, we prefer to use the roadways. Whenever we are going to the long distances, obviously we try to adopt railways or the airways. But if we talk about the short distances, definitely most commonly used of transport, that is roadways. These can be metalled and unmetalled. Plains have high density of roads. Metalled means pakka, unmetalled means kacha. So these roads can be kache and the pakka. Okay? So plains have high density of roads. What does it mean? Means in plain areas the roadways are more, because it is easy to construct roads there. If we talk about, we take example of mountains, that is really very difficult to construct the roads there. So we can say the plains have high density of roads due to the flat area. Next is the roads, those are built underground, are called subways or underpath. That we know that sometimes we have seen in the big cities these subways or underpath. When the roads are built underground, they are known as subway or underpath. Flyovers also, we know about the flyovers. Those are built over the raised structure, like the bridges, you can say. Next, Manali Leh highway in the Himalayan mountains is one of the highest roadways in the world. If we talk about the highest roadways in the world, it is the Manali Leh roadways highway. They are in Himalayan mountain. So this is about the roadways that we can discuss here. Now there are different types of roads. What different types we discuss there in there? National highways. National highway, if we talk about in India, are network of trunk roads owned by Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, and they are basically related to the national government. Okay, they maintain all these, the national highways. Clear? The next is state highway. The state highways are usually roads that link important cities, towns and district headquarters within the states. Means the highways within the states, they are state highway, and the highways, if we talk about national highway connectivity, the highways, those connect one state to another. Okay, and state highway, we take that different cities or district headquarters of a state, within a state, they connect different cities with each other. Then the next is district road. Means in a district there are different type of roads, those are connected to different areas. There can be the roads, those are in cities, the roads, those are connecting different villages even. Then next is expressway. Expressways are highest class of roads in India. The very good type of road we can say in India, the high class type roads, they are known as expressway. Then one more is there, the golden quadrilateral. The golden quadrilateral, basically the road that connects four main metropolitan means the big cities, very big cities or developed cities we can talk about here. So golden quadrilateral that connects Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata. So these are different types of roads that we can see there in India. Next is railways. Railways run on tracks. We know that the different tracks are made for rails, the trains there, and carry heavy loads over long distances quickly. That we know that the trains, they are able to carry heavy loads for the long distances easily and quickly. Invention of diesel and electric engine have largely replaced the steam engines. We know that in starting the use of steam engine was there, isn't it? Then it was replaced by diesel and electric engines. We know that the electric engine nowadays, that is most common. Okay, so what is there? They are replaced from the steam engines we have done. Then now super fast trains have made the journey faster. We know that different super fast trains, those are running there in India, they made our journey really faster, so that we can reach to our destination very quickly. So the railways network is well developed over the plain area. Again, that we have done, they are in roadways also. These railways, they are also developed in plain areas more, because due to the flat land only. Then Indian railway network is the largest in Asia. If we talk about the network in India, that is the largest network, railway network there of Asia. Okay. Then the Trans-Siberian Railways is the longest railway system connecting St. Petersburg and Western Russia to Vladivostok. So what is there? Trans-Siberian Railway, that is the longest railway system that has the highest length, you can say, and connecting St. Petersburg and Western Russia to Vladivostok. These two places in Russia it is connecting. If we talk about the highest point from the sea level in railways, that is near about 5072 meters. The highest point in railways is 5072 meters. With the help of advanced technological skill, railway lines are laid in difficult mountain terrains also. We know terrains means the places, the areas. So with the advanced technology, nowadays the railway lines can be laid there in the mountain areas also. We can take example of Vaishno Devi. We know that now we can go to Vaishno Devi even through railways. Earlier it was there that we had to hire the buses from a definite railway station, because the direct railways it was not there to Vaishno Devi. So this is one of the example we can take, that the railway line that is laid there in that mountainous areas also. So this is about the railways. Now waterways. Waterways, what is this? Obviously moving in water through different means of transport like ship, boat, stream. Then waterways are the cheapest means of transport. That really it is the waterways that is cheapest one. Now waterways are used to carry heavy and bulky goods over long distances. As we know that it is cheapest means of transport, it waterways is available, definitely it can be used for carrying heavy and bulky goods. Then waterways are of two types. What are two types? We know that waterways can be there in the rivers, lakes, big lakes you can say, and the oceans and seas obviously. So what are these two types? Inland waterways, ways and sea routes or ocean routes. Inland means that is in the land area we can say, and seas and ocean we know they spread for very long distances. So that is the sea routes. We'll talk about here about inland waterways and sea routes. Inland waterways. India has an extensive network of inland waterways in the form of rivers, canal, lakes, etc. Means the inland waterways that is possible there in the rivers, canals and lakes. Now we'll take example there. Like important inland waterways are the Ganga Brahmaputra river system in India, Great Lakes in North America, and the river Nile in Africa. These are some of the important inland waterways. Ganga Brahmaputra river system in India, Great Lakes in North America. In North America, if we talk about, there are 5 lakes altogether. So that system, that is also the important inland waterways. The Nile river, they are in Africa. That is also one of the important. Then sea routes. Sea routes and ocean routes are mostly used for transporting goods from one country to another. Inland, basically, that is used inside the country only. These routes are connected with ports. Ports means the place where ships are loaded and unloaded. So these routes are connected with the ports. On the ports, different goods, they are loaded there and transported from those ports. Important ports of the world are Singapore and Mumbai in Asia, New York and Los Angeles in North America, Rio de Janeiro in South America, etc. Along with it, many are there. These are few examples taken from your book only. Singapore, Shanghai, these two are known as the busiest port in the world, Shanghai and Singapore. So along with that, many examples we can take here. The important ports you can write here. Okay. Now the next thing, airways. Airways, we know that transportation there through air. This is the fastest means of transport. With the development of this airways, the people, they are able to reach to their destination within hours in any part of the world. Okay, so it is the only means of transport in the most remote areas. We know that in the areas where the roads and the railways, these cannot be constructed in that areas, if these means of transport, airways, they are really most important. Like at the time of any calamity, that example we are taking here, helicopters are the most useful means of transport at the time of calamities. They help in rescue operations. We know that if any calamities there, like flood, earthquake, when the roads or the railways they get really damaged, so in that condition, definitely, or we can say in flood, so the water that is filled there in on the land area, so it is not possible to run the different land transport. So in that case, helicopters are most useful means of transport, and they help in rescue operations. They help the people, those they get stuck there in those areas of natural calamities. So therefore, rescue operations, they can be used. Some important airports are Delhi, Mumbai, New York, London, Paris, etc. Along with it, different other we can take here, like Kochi. There in India, that Kochi is one of the important ports. So Delhi, Mumbai. Okay. So these are some of the examples of airport we can write here. This is all about airport. Now disadvantages. Before it, we have just done the advantages, like the fastest means of transport. It is helpful there in the remote areas to send something, or at the time of the natural calamity. So those were advantages of airways. Now some of the disadvantages. It is the most expensive means of transport. Obviously, even the poor or the common people, they have to think before going through the airways. Definitely the tickets or the fuel of this airways, that is costly. So obviously the tickets, they are also costly. So it is most expensive means of transport. It is difficult to carry bulky goods on it. air traffic is definitely affected. It is adversely, it will come here, adversely affected by bad weather as fog and storm. If bad weather is there, adversely word please make it correct. Air traffic is adversely affected by bad weather like fog and storm. And in the case of foggy weather or storm, it is really difficult to run airways. These are disadvantages of airways. Now, communication. Communication is the process of conveying messages and thoughts with others. When we convey our messages to other people, that can be in the form of written messages or can be the verbal messages. Okay, and this we have already covered in our civics chapter also. What is this communication? In which we have covered the media, mass media also. So that we are talking about here also. Utility of communication, how it is utilized or what are the importance. The achievements in the field of communication has brought information revolution in the world. Obviously, as we in chapter media we have covered, now we have the different means of communication with us by which we can contact to the people of any part of the world in few seconds. So that is really information revolution in the world. Second, mass media like TV, radio, newspaper, etc. are used to give information to a large number of people at one time. This is the definition of mass media. Even if anyone asks you what is mass media, TV, radio, newspaper, these are the means of mass media which are used to give information to a large number of people at one time. Satellites help in survey of forest, weather forecast, disaster warning, etc. These satellites in communication, definitely they are also helping us in different ways. They are helpful for us when any survey is done there for the forest. Weather forecast can be done due to these, disaster warning, availability of minerals even. So these can be done with the help of satellites. Wireless communication has become very popular today. We know that nowadays cell phones we are using, the internet we are using, different other things on the internet. With the help of internet, definitely we are using different things for communication. So that wireless communication that has become very popular today. Every person, they know about these communication skills now at present if we talk about. So this is the utility of communication that really bring the world closer to each other. This communication, different medium of communication, they make the world closer to each other. They make the people closer to each other in the world. Now this one question, one topic about it we have taken. The world is coming together. The world is shrinking, you can say. So here we can take how people can communicate with anyone across the world while sitting at their home. We know that with the help of different means of communication, the people, they are able to contact with the people from any part of the world by sitting their home only, at their home only. Communication can cover the long distances within the shortest period of time. That is also true. Within few minutes we can talk to the people from any part of the world. And next is, this has enabled the people to easily get in contact with each other from any part of the world. So these are all things we can say due to that the world is shrinking. The people are coming together with each other. So that is the reason, because of communication and transport. Okay, basically communication, within few seconds we can have contact with anyone. in the world. So this is all about today's lecture, in which we have completed transport, different types of transport we have done, communication we have done, and at last how the world is shrinking due to these we have covered. I hope that all the topics they are clear to you. Now it's time for homework. In homework, firstly you will do question number 3 and question number 2 and 3 of your exercise, in which tick the correct option and match the following, that is there. These you will attempt in your book itself. Now some other questions. What are the 4 means of transport? Number 2, mention any 3 merits of railways or advantages, you can say, how the railways are helpful. Here you will write. Number 3, what do you understand by communication? Write its utility. Communication meaning, then its utility. Today's world is shrinking. Give reason for this statement that we discussed. So we will write here. Number 5, it is write 3 advantages and 3 disadvantages of airways. Advantages as well disadvantages you will write here. Number 6, write a short note on roadways. So about roadways you will write here the points that we discussed here. Now it's homework that you will attempt there in your register. Now it's time for homework solution of lecture number 1. Do you what will come here? What do you understand by the term settlement? Settlements are the places where people build their homes. That is settlement. Number 2, what are the activities practiced by the rural people? The activities practiced by the rural people are agriculture, fishing, forestry, craft work, etc. And question number 3 was, how did the settlement flourish or how did it develop? The settlements flourished as early human beings lived on trees, on caves. When they started growing crops, they needed the permanent settlement. Then the settlements grew near the water sources due to the availability of water. Mostly settlements that we talk about in history, they really grew near the rivers. If we talk about Indus Valley, around the Indus River, Nile Valley, there also one of the settlement it was there. Then 4th question it was, explain 2 types of settlement. Temporary settlement. Settlements which are occupied for a short period of time are called temporary settlements. People living in temporary settlements are involved in activities like hunting, gathering, shifting, cultivation and transhumance. So these are the activities done by the people, those who are living there in temporary settlement. Permanent settlement, the type of settlement in which people build their homes to live in permanently. So this is permanent settlement. These are the 2 types of settlements. Now the next question it was, what are the compact and scattered settlement? In rural areas, the settlements can be compact and scattered. So compact settlement, a compact settlement is closely built area of dwelling. Means the residents, they are closely built to each other wherever flat land is available. Obviously that can be possible when flat land is available. Number 2, it is scattered settlement. In scattered settlement, houses are few and far from each other. It is known as dispersed settlement also. So this is the about compact and scattered settlements found in rural areas. So that's it for today. We will be meeting for the next lecture. So thank you and have